I'm going to show you how to make a folded rose using wire-edged ribbon. You can do this rose on any ribbon, but it's easier to learn on wire-edged ribbon. I'm using a wide one, but once you know what you're doing, you can make all sorts of different sizes using different ribbons. Right, I've got probably about a metre on here, but I don't always cut the length off. I just make my rose when it's the size I want it to be, then I trim my ribbon off. Right, the first thing to do is to make a right angle, like so, with the ribbon coming towards you. Your folded edge, just fold that so that it's roughly in line with that line. It doesn't have to be precision, it's just to get the raw edges down to the bottom. Then wind it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. That gives you the centre of the rose. From now on, you're always going to fold the ribbon away from you, never ever towards you. No matter what your head says, it still has to go away. If you hold your ribbon between your fingers like so, your hand can only bend one way, and that will show you which edge needs to be bent over. Make a right angle, a proper right angle, not one like so, quite near to your stem. Don't hold it there, hold it slightly underneath and just lift your elbow slightly. That tips the ribbon out a little bit at the back. You can probably see it more like that. And then that bit there, just do one full turn along the ribbon. You're near enough keeping that level with the top bit. It doesn't have to be rocket science, but it just helps the ribbon keep its shape. Ignore that bit that's coming towards you, and again, fold your ribbon away from you to make a right angle. Lift and roll your full turn again, and you can see what's beginning to happen. By lifting it, it then pushes it out. And then again, make your right angle, lift and roll your full turn. With the wire edge ribbon, if you let go of it, it's not going to come undone. If you're using ordinary ribbon, it's sometimes useful to have a needle and thread so that you can just catch the new bit of ribbon to the stem. Otherwise, if you let go, it will be gone. Right, now I've done a full turn 3 times. From now on, you only do a quarter of a turn. If you do a full turn, your rose will just get tighter and tighter. And you fold in the same way. You don't need to lift it anymore because it's quite out now. If you're not sure when your ribbon is more flat which edge needs to go over, just put your hand back in it, and then you can see when you fold your hand like that which is the edge that needs to go over. So fold it again and just do a quarter of a turn and just manoeuvre round. Ignore that bit. That's when the mistakes occur, because people think it's got to come back towards you. It still goes away and you can fold into that piece. So fold again and roll your quarter turn. And your rose will begin to start getting bigger and bigger. Fold, quarter turn. And just keep going until your rose is the size that you want it to be. So right angle, quarter turn. Right angle, quarter turn. Right angle, quarter turn. If you run out of ribbon, obviously that will be the end of the size that you can do. When it's the size you want it to be, do your last fold, and then I put my finger just underneath and just make a loop and hold that to my stem, the other side. Turn it that way so you can see. Now you can either put a stitch in it or just take a piece of wire and just wind it round, and that will hold your rose. And then when it's the size you want it to be, you can tweak out your petals and your rose is done. If you prefer, you can actually put a stitch in it. Then trim that off. Let's wind that bit of wire round, and that will give you your little folded rose. That one is a slightly bigger one, and that one's got slightly tighter folds. So you can, once you get going, you can make them exactly as you want them to be. If you want to make a bud, just do your 3 initial folds and your full turns, and that one then fasten off, and that will give you a small bud. And then you can position things with little buds.